The snow fell gently that night. The wind was cold but quiet. A small cabin stood alone in the woods, far from any town or road. Inside, a man named Jack Wren sat by the fireplace. He was drinking hot tea and reading an old book. His dog, Milo, lay by his feet snoring softly. Jack lived alone. He had been a space engineer once. Long ago, he helped build the first human ships that flew past Mars. But now he lived far from people. After his wife and daughter died in an accident, he had come to the mountains. Life here was quiet. The stars above reminded him of the old days, but the silence gave him peace. That night, as the wind picked up, Jack heard something strange. It was a knock, a soft, weak knock, at the door. He froze. No one came here. No one ever knocked on his door. He looked at Milo. The dog raised its head and gave a low whine, ears alert. Jack stood up slowly and walked to the door. Another knock. Even softer this time. Jack opened the door. At first he thought it was a person, a woman. She stood hunched in the snow, arms wrapped tightly around something glowing faintly in her arms. Her clothes shimmered like silver, but they were torn. Her skin was pale blue. Her eyes were large and black, and her hair looked like fine silver threads. Jack stepped back in shock. She looked up at him. Her lips moved, and she spoke in broken English. "Please, help. My child." Then she fell forward, into his arms. Jack caught her just in time. The small bundle in her arms nearly slipped, but he cradled it quickly. It was a baby, wrapped in soft, warm cloth that glowed like starlight. He looked around. There was no sign of a vehicle, no lights, no ship. Only snow and trees. Jack carried them both inside. The woman lay on the couch near the fire. Jack had covered her in a thick blanket. She was cold, too cold, but still breathing. The baby in her arms was quiet. It had tiny hands, silver blue, skin and bright green eyes that watched Jack carefully. It didn't cry. Jack set up a heater and made warm broth from the kitchen. He wasn't sure what they could eat, but he tried his best. He gave the baby a few drops of warm water. It blinked, then closed its eyes and slept. He stared at the mother. She was not human. That was clear. Jack had seen aliens before, on the news, in research missions. But he had never met one face to face. Not like this. Not in his home. "Where did you come from?" he whispered. She opened her eyes just a little. "Sky. Fire. Crash," she said slowly. Her voice was soft, like music, but weak. "Hunted, no more time." Jack leaned in. "You crashed here?" She nodded. "My ship, gone. Others, lost. My baby, Rin, needs care. I cannot stay." Jack looked at the baby again. It was so small, so quiet. "I don't know how to care for your kind," he said gently. "But I'll try." The woman's eyes filled with tears. She tried to speak again, but her voice faded. Her strength was leaving her fast. "Rest," Jack said. "You're safe here. I won't let anything happen to your child." The woman looked at him for a long moment. Then she smiled faintly and her eyes closed. Jack spent the night checking on them again and again. He made a soft bed for the baby near the fireplace and adjusted the heat to match what he thought might be comfortable. Milo sniffed the baby once, then sat close by, guarding it. In the morning, the snow had stopped. The forest was quiet, blanketed in white. Jack made a call on his satellite radio. He didn't say much, only that he had seen strange lights in the sky and heard a crash. He left out the part about the alien mother and child. He didn't know what the government would do. He needed time to think. He went back to the cabin. The woman was awake. She sat up slowly, her body weak but steady. Her eyes met his. "You stayed," she said softly. "Yes," Jack said. "I couldn't leave you outside." She looked at her baby, then at him. "Why?" Jack paused. He looked at the fire. "Because once, Someone helped me. After I lost my family, I didn't think I could go on. A stranger gave me food, a place to rest. That kindness saved me. I never got to thank them. The woman nodded slowly. I am Seila, she said. This is Rin. We are Eliari. We came in peace. Jack smiled. I'm Jack, and this is Milo. The dog wagged his tail. Over the next 2 days, Seila grew stronger. Jack helped her eat and stay warm. He tried using an old translator from his garage, one that had been used in past alien meetings. It worked, just enough for them to talk more clearly. Seila explained that her ship had been exploring nearby systems. They found signs of danger, machines that hunted living things. She and her crew had tried to escape, but only her pod survived the attack. She landed far from human cities to avoid being tracked. Her energy was running out, and Earth's air and cold had weakened her. She had only one goal: to keep her baby safe. Jack listened quietly. He believed her. He saw the fear in her eyes, but also the strength. Seila was a mother, scared, alone, but still fighting for her child. And now he was part of their story. That night, Jack stood outside the cabin looking up at the stars. He wondered what kind of galaxy they lived in, where even the most gentle beings could be hunted. But more than that, he wondered why she came to him. Maybe fate brought her here. Or maybe she knocked on every door she could find. And his was the one that opened. He went back inside and checked on them. Seila was asleep, and Rin made small, soft sounds in his sleep. Jack smiled. He didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but he knew one thing. They were not alone anymore. Morning light came slowly through the snow-covered windows. Jack woke early as always, but today was different. His quiet mountain home was no longer silent. It held life. 2 strange, new lives he had never expected. Seila, the alien mother, was still resting. Her breathing was calm. Her body, though weak, looked stronger than before. She had eaten some of the soft fruit Jack gave her and sipped warm broth. Her silver-blue skin seemed to shine a little brighter. Baby Rin was awake. He made soft sounds, almost like singing. He wasn't crying. Instead, he looked around with wide green eyes, curious about everything. He watched the fire, stared at the wooden ceiling, and once even reached toward Jack's beard with a tiny hand. Jack chuckled. You're not scared of me, huh? Milo the dog sat nearby, tail wagging gently. He had accepted the alien child without question. Jack had known fear in his life, but this didn't feel like fear. It felt like responsibility. Like something had changed deep inside him. Later that morning, Seila tried to sit up fully. Jack helped her. Do you feel stronger today? He asked. She nodded slowly. Yes, warmer. Breathing is easier. You help much. I'm glad, he said. I wasn't sure what food would work for you. She looked around his cabin. It was small but neat. Tools and old machines lined one wall. A star map hung above the fireplace. This place, she said, feels safe. Jack gave a small smile. It's the only home I've got. I've lived here for years now. Seila looked down at Rin, who lay wrapped in a thick blanket beside her. He is why I ran, she whispered. Why I survived. Jack pulled a chair closer. Tell me more. Seila spoke slowly, still learning English. She explained that the Eliari were a peaceful race. They traveled space to learn and share knowledge. Her crew had been on a science mission near Earth's region of the stars, but during their study they found a signal. A strange, cold signal. Machines, she said. Dark ones. They do not speak, she said. They only destroy all life. Her ship was attacked. Most of her people were lost, only her escape pod made it through. She chose Earth not because she knew anyone, but because it was the nearest world with life. I hid, landed far, no lights, no sound. I carried Rin. He is still very small. needs warmth, needs love. Jack listened carefully. He believed her. He had seen enough strange things in space during his time as an engineer. Not all beings in the galaxy wanted peace. So, Jack said quietly, you ran to protect him. She nodded. He is my heart. I gave up everything, just to give him a chance. Jack looked at Rin again. The baby was now holding one of Milo's ears gently. The dog didn't mind. Well, Jack said, you're not alone anymore. The next few days passed with quiet work and careful care. Jack used old sensors and devices in his garage to scan Saila's health. He adjusted air filters and heaters to match her needs. He even built a small glowing crib for Rin using soft materials and a warm light from an old lantern. Sila began to walk slowly again. Her body healed faster with warmth, food, and rest. She helped Jack clean and cook. They talked more each day. Her English improved quickly. One evening, as snow fell outside again, they sat by the fire. Rin was asleep. You lived in space? Saila asked. Jack nodded. Many years ago, I worked on starships, helped design engines and shields. I loved it. But after I lost my family, I left it all. Saila touched his hand gently. I am sorry you have pain. He looked into the fire. It's okay, it hurts less now, especially since you came. She looked at him with kind eyes. You saved us, I will not forget. But peace never lasts forever. That night, Jack went outside to check the weather sensors. He looked up at the stars. Then, he noticed something strange, a blinking red light on his satellite screen. He tapped the controls. It was interference, a low-frequency pulse, almost like radar, but different, not from Earth. Something was scanning the area. Jack frowned. He checked his old tracking system. It wasn't strong, but it showed a faint movement above the trees just at the edge of his sensors. Sila, he called gently after going back inside. I think something might be looking for you. She stood up quickly. You saw them? Not exactly, he said, but there's a signal. It's strange, not human. Saila closed her eyes and pressed her hands together. Her skin glowed softly. They come, she whispered. The machines. Jack's heart sank. Are you sure? Yes. They follow energy. They follow life they do not control. Jack ran a hand through his hair. He had kept them safe this long, but now things were changing. We'll figure something out, he said. I have old tech, drones, maybe even a signal jammer. You help again? She said softly. Jack looked at her. I won't let anything happen to him. Or you. I promise. The next day, Jack worked in his garage, brushing dust off his old defense drones. They were used once to watch wild animals or alert him to storms. Now he needed them to act as eyes, and maybe more. He set up a warning system. If anything entered within 1 mile of the cabin, he'd know. Meanwhile, Saila sat with Rin and began teaching him quiet songs, not with words, but with soft sounds that echoed in the air, almost like music you could feel in your chest. Jack noticed that when she sang, the lights in the room flickered gently. What is that? He asked. It is called Songwave, Saila said. Our kind uses it to speak from heart to heart. It is safe and for now. Jack nodded, though he didn't fully understand. Later that night, as he watched Rin sleep in the glowing crib, Jack felt something deep and quiet inside himself. He didn't know if he was ready for another fight, or if he could stop what was coming. But he did know this. He had something to protect now. And this time, he would not run. The cold wind returned on the third night. Snow fell in soft flakes again, covering the trees and roof like a blanket. But inside Jack Wren's cabin, warmth still filled the small home. Saila was stronger now. Baby Wren had started to smile, and even laughed a little when Milo wagged his tail in circles. But peace doesn't always last. Jack knew that. He sat by the window looking at the sky. His screen showed something strange again. Another signal, this time stronger. The small sensor tower he had fixed was picking up a low humming sound. It pulsed every 10 minutes, steady, careful, like a machine scanning the ground. Jack rubbed his chin. They're close. Saila stood near him, holding Rin in her arms. She had felt it too. Her kind, the Eliari, could sense the presence of certain machines, especially the ones that had destroyed her ship. They are here, she said softly. They watch from above, but not ready to land yet. Why not? Jack asked. They study first. They look for fear. Jack looked outside again. The stars were still bright. The forest was quiet. But something was hiding. Something not natural. The next morning, Jack worked on the old drones. There were 4 left, round flying bots, rusty but fixable. He cleaned the circuits, replaced the batteries, and updated their vision systems. By sunset, 2 of them hovered silently outside, scanning the woods. Sayla helped by using her song wave to connect to one of the machines. Jack watched in awe as she touched its metal body and sang a soft tone. The drone blinked once, then began to move faster and smoother. You're amazing, Jack said. Sayla smiled gently. We don't fight like humans, but we guide things, shape them. Jack began building a plan. If anything came too close, the drones would alert them. The cabin signal jammer, which Jack built from scrap, could block tracking for a while. But it wouldn't hold forever. He needed more time, and time was running out. That night, while Saila and Rin slept, Jack sat near the fire. He opened a small box from under the floor. Inside were photos of his wife and daughter. His heart ached quietly. I didn't protect them, he whispered. Milo whined gently and laid his head on Jack's foot. But I won't fail again. Jack checked his tablet. A warning flashed. Unknown object detected. The signal came from a ridge 2 kilometers away. The drone camera showed a blur, just a dark shape behind the trees. No sound, no light. Jack stared at the screen. They've landed. In the morning, Jack told Sayla. They're watching us from the ridge, he said. It's a scout, maybe 1, maybe more. Sayla nodded. Then we must hide. Jack frowned. They'll find us. We need to do more than hide. She held Rin close. We cannot run. I am still weak. He is still growing. Jack paced the floor. If I could reach Earth's orbital command, maybe they'd send help. Sayla looked uncertain. Will they protect us or take Rin away? Jack paused. That was the question. Not everyone trusts alien life, Sayla said. Some fear what they do not know. Jack remembered the stories. Some governments wanted to control alien technology. Some wanted to keep it hidden. But he wasn't one of them. I won't let them take him, Jack said firmly. We protect him. Together. That afternoon, Jack set up a small transmitter on the roof. It was old, but strong enough to send a short message into space. He wrote carefully. Alien mother and child in danger. Hostile machines nearby. Need help. Coordinates enclosed. Jack Wren. He waited. The signal sent. Then silence. We may have hours, he said. Or less. Sayla walked to the window. Her skin glowed faintly. They fear strong emotion, she said. The machines. They are not like us. They feel nothing. No care, no love. Jack looked at her. Then maybe love is our best weapon. She turned toward him. What do you mean? I mean, Jack said, we don't fight like they do, but we protect. With heart. With family. They don't understand that. Sayla touched his hand. Then we are stronger than them. Just before sunset, one of the drones sent a loud alert. Object approaching. 400 meters. Moving silently. Jack rushed outside. Through his binoculars, he saw it. A smooth black shape, like a floating knife. It moved low between the trees, scanning with a pale blue light. It made no noise. No engine. No heat. Sayla stood behind him. It's a scout, she whispered. It searches for weakness. Jack looked at the hill nearby. If I can lure it away, maybe I can jam its signal. Sayla stepped forward. Too dangerous. Jack shook his head. I've handled machines before. But not like this, she warned. Jack turned toward her. You gave me back something I lost, Saila. A reason to care again. Let me do this. She hesitated, then nodded. Then I helped too. Together, they moved quickly. Jack used an old bike with a mounted noisemaker, one of his inventions to scare off mountain bears. He placed it near the drone's path and ran wires to a signal spike. It was risky. If the machine scanned him too closely, it might attack. But it never did. The sound went off. The machine turned, floated toward it, scanning wildly. Jack triggered the jammer. The machine's light flickered. For a moment, it froze in place. Then it turned and vanished into the trees. We bought time, Jack said, breathing hard. But not safety, Saila added. That night the cabin was quiet again. Rin slept in Saila's arms. Jack sat by the window watching the trees. The stars were beautiful, peaceful, but behind them he knew were darker things. Still, something had changed. He wasn't just a man hiding from the world anymore. He had something to fight for, something to protect, and he wasn't alone. Milo barked softly once. Jack looked down and smiled. Let them come, he said, because love, even quiet love, was stronger than fear. And tomorrow, if help came from the stars, Jack would be ready. The night was colder than before. Snow had stopped falling, but the air felt tight, heavy, like the world was holding its breath. Jack didn't sleep much. He sat by the window, watching the trees. The drones hovered above the cabin, scanning, quietly. Every few minutes they beeped once, confirming the skies were still clear. But Jack knew better. Something was coming. Inside, Saila held her baby close. Rin was calm, though he twitched in his sleep. His skin glowed faintly, just like his mother's when she was afraid. Saila looked at Jack and said softly, "They are near. I feel their thoughts." Jack turned from the window. "Can you read them?" "Not exactly. But I know when they search. I feel cold inside my head, like empty space." Jack nodded. That matched what he saw on the sensors. The black shape from before had returned, this time with two others. They didn't land yet, but they circled above, watching. "They're waiting for something," Jack said. "Yes," Saila whispered, "for us to make a mistake." The next morning, Jack started building a shield. He didn't have weapons. Not real ones, but he had old tech. Solar panels, heat cables, signal loops, and a few magnetic field coils from his space engineer days. Using wire, wood, and solar batteries, he built a field ring around the cabin's roof. "What does it do?" Saila asked, as she watched him work. "It won't stop them forever," Jack admitted. "But if they try to scan or control the machines in here, it'll slow them down. Think of it like a fog in their eyes." Saila touched the coils gently. "You think like an Eliari." Jack laughed. "You mean smart?" She smiled. "I mean careful. Caring. You build to protect, not destroy." That made Jack pause. He hadn't built anything this important in years, but now he had a reason. Later that day, Jack got a signal from his emergency antenna. It was short, broken, but clear. Message received. Patrol unit on way. ETA, 36 hours. Jack showed it to Saila. "Help is coming," he said. "Earth's patrol ship will be here in a day and a half." Saila nodded slowly. "That is good. But can we last that long?" Jack looked outside. The drones showed movement in the trees, more than before. 4, maybe 5 black shapes now, and one of them bigger. "I don't know," Jack said honestly. "But we'll try." That evening, Jack set traps, not to hurt, just to confuse. He placed mirrors in the woods, signal flashers on the ground, and fake heat sources around the cabin. If the machines scanned for life signs, they'd get confused. He also set up noise speakers on poles, machines that sent out low hums, just like the Virex did. Maybe, Just maybe, they'd think someone else was here. Saila helped. She carried Rin in a sling made from Jack's scarf. Her skin was brighter now, she could walk faster, and her voice was stronger. "You don't have to come outside," Jack said as they worked. "I do," she replied. "He is our son now." Jack looked at her. "You said our." Saila blushed a little. "Yes. You care for him like a father. You protect us both. My heart knows." Jack smiled. "Then I'll protect you with everything I've got." That night, they sat together in silence. Rin slept between them in a warm cloth basket. Milo lay close by, ears alert. Sela looked into the fire. "When I was young," she said, "my people told stories of humans. We thought you were loud, wild, dangerous." Jack chuckled. "We can be." "But now I see," she said. "Your heart is big, like the sky." Jack didn't speak for a while. Then he said, "I lost my family a long time ago. I thought I would never care for anyone again. But now, with you two here, I feel something I thought was gone." Saila reached out and took his hand. Her fingers were soft, cool, glowing just a little. "We have become a family," she whispered. Suddenly, the drone outside beeped loudly. "Warning. Object detected. 200 meters. Moving fast." Jack stood quickly. He grabbed his scanner. A black shape was moving through the trees. It didn't stop this time. It was coming directly toward the cabin. Another alert flashed. Second object. 210 meters. Behind first. "There. Coming," Jack said. He ran to the control panel and activated the jamming field. The lights around the cabin flickered as power shifted. The signal fog spread out. Outside, a strange sound echoed through the forest like static and wind mixed together. It was the Virex machines speaking. "They test our walls," Sayla said. "They want to know how strong we are." Jack's hands worked quickly. He sent the drones higher to distract the machines. The speakers began to hum loudly, creating echoes through the valley. The black shapes slowed. One turned its scanner toward the wrong heat spot, one of the traps. It fired, a thin light beam. The trap exploded in sparks, but it didn't hit us, Jack said. "Your tricks work," Sela said, eyes wide. "For now," Jack replied. The machines circled the cabin for hours. They didn't land. They didn't attack fully. But they studied everything, scanning, watching, learning. And inside, Jack and Saila waited. They fed Rin, kept the fire going, repaired the shield coil when it sparked. By sunrise, the machines were gone again, at least for the moment. Jack leaned back against the door and exhaled deeply. "They're smart, but they're not brave. They do not understand love," Saila said. "So they cannot understand why we fight." Jack looked at her. "But that's why we're stronger." Later, as they cleaned the cabin, Rin laughed loudly. His laugh was like a soft bell, pure and full of joy. Even Milo barked happily. Sela smiled. "He is not afraid." Jack picked up the child gently. "Maybe that's our hope." Rin's small hands reached out toward the sky. His eyes glowed, a gentle green like little stars. And Jack thought, maybe he's more than just a baby. Maybe he's the future. That night, as they sat together again, Jack looked out at the stars. "Help will come tomorrow," Saila nodded. "But tonight we stay strong." Jack reached over and held her hand. Together. The wind outside was quiet now. The forest, still. The machines were still out there, watching, waiting. But so was Jack. So was Saila. So was Rin. And they were not afraid, because sometimes the strongest shield is not made of metal or wires. It's made of care, of family, of hope. And hope, real hope, is hard to destroy. The sky turned silver just before dawn. A faint sound echoed from above, deep, low, and smooth, like thunder wrapped in calm wind. Jack Wren stood outside the cabin, looking up through the trees. His breath formed small clouds in the freezing air. The snow under his boots crunched as he took one step forward. Then he saw it, a ship, large and quiet, gliding through the clouds. Sleek and white, shaped like a bird in flight, with earth markings on the side. It hovered above the forest for a moment, then slowly lowered toward the nearby valley. Jack's heart beat fast. "They're here," he whispered. Behind him, Scifi stepped out, holding Rin wrapped in a warm blanket. The baby opened his glowing eyes and looked at the sky with wonder. Scifi's voice was calm but uncertain. "Will they help us? Or take him away?" Jack turned and looked at her. "They won't take him," he said. "I won't let them." By the time the ship landed in the valley clearing, the sun had risen. The light reflected off the snow, painting everything in gold. Jack and Scifi walked toward the ship, slowly and carefully. Milo stayed close to them, ears twitching. As they reached the edge of the clearing, a small door on the side of the ship opened. A human figure stepped out. He wore a navy blue suit with the Earth emblem on his chest. Behind him came two more officers, one with a scanner, the other with a case. The lead officer raised his hand in peace. "Jack Wren?" "Yes, Jack," replied. "I'm Captain Lowe, Earth Patrol. We received your message." Jack nodded. "Thanks for coming." Captain Lowe glanced at Scifi and the child. He raised one eyebrow but didn't speak yet. Jack stepped forward. "This is Scifi. She and her baby are the ones I messaged you about." The officer with the scanner took a few steps forward. He scanned the air gently. His scanner beeped once, then turned green. "Life signs confirmed," he said. "No threat." Captain Lowe looked at Rin, then at Scifi. "Are you the one the Viewership are chasing?" Scifi answered quietly. "Yes. My ship crashed. They followed me here." The captain looked serious. "We saw them. 5 units still hovering beyond this valley. We jammed them for now, but that won't last long." Jack asked, "Can you take them to safety?" Lowe looked at his officers. Then he said, "Yes. We can take her and the child to the Mars refuge station. It's safe. Protected. They'll be cared for." Scifi held Rin tightly. "But we'll need to separate them for scans," the second officer added. "Routine process." Jack's heart tightened. He stepped in front of them. "No," he said firmly. "You can scan them both, but not apart." Captain Lowe looked surprised. "Why not?" Jack stared him in the eyes. "Because they're a family. Because I'm part of that family now." Lowe studied Jack's face, then glanced at Scifi. "Are you staying with them?" "I'm not leaving them," Jack said. For a moment, no one spoke. The wind rustled the branches. Then the captain nodded slowly. "All right," he said. "We'll keep you all together." Inside the patrol ship, the light was soft and white. The warmth was clean, not like the cabin's fire, but smooth and even. They gave Scifi and Rin a small room. A nurse helped clean the baby's hands and scanned his breathing. Everything looked good. Jack sat nearby, watching every move. He didn't trust easily, but these people weren't cruel. They seemed careful, respectful. A message came in on the ship's main screen. Viewership units regrouping. Estimated strike in 4 hours. Captain Lowe turned to Jack. "They know we're here, and they don't like it." Jack nodded. "They want the child." "Why?" Lowe asked. Scifi answered from behind him. "Because he is part human, and part Eliari. A new kind. Something they fear." Jack looked at her. "I didn't know he was part human." She smiled softly. "Not by blood, but by love. He learned your voice before he learned mine. He grew safe in your arms. That shaped him." The captain paused. "So he's more than just a baby. He's proof that 2 species can live as one." "Yes," Scifi said. "That's what the Viewership fear most." The crew prepared for takeoff. They needed to get to orbit before the machines reached the ship. As engines warmed, Captain Lowe turned to Jack. "You don't have to come with us," he said. "You can return to Earth. Let us handle the rest." But Jack shook his head. "I started this." I'll finish it. Saila reached out and took Jack's hand. Rin, in her other arm, giggled softly and touched Jack's face. We stay together, she said. The captain gave a small smile. Then, welcome aboard. The ship lifted into the sky just as black dots appeared over the trees. The Virex had returned, floating, silent, cold. But the patrol ship flew higher, faster, until the forest looked small below. In orbit, they passed through the blue atmosphere and entered the stars. Safe. Free. Jack watched Earth fade behind them. It wasn't goodbye, just a new beginning. Sela stood beside him, holding Rin. Her glow was softer now, calm. Where do we go? She asked. Captain Lowe replied. Mars refuge first, then wherever you choose. We'll help you start a new life. Jack turned to Saila. We could build a home there, a real one. She smiled. With windows that look at the stars. And walls filled with laughter, Jack said. Months later, on Mars, a small home stood at the edge of the Red Hills. Wind blew gently across the rocks. Solar panels hummed quietly on the roof. Inside, Jack fixed a toy drone while Rin laughed and chased Milo, who had adjusted well to Martian life. Sela stood by, the window looking out at the twin moons. He's growing strong, she said. Jack walked to her side. He has you in him. And you, she replied. You gave us a second life. They stood quietly for a moment. Then Rin called out, Mama, Dada. Jack and Saila turned, their eyes filled with joy. In that moment there were no machines, no fear, no danger, only love. And in a corner of the universe where an alien mother once left her child at a human's door, a family had bloomed. Together, forever. The end.